Where's the... Can you turn the TV on? I did. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Dobro večer? Il večer? Dobar dan, dobro večer. Welcome to our first afternoon service since March 2020. Yay! Finally. We're so happy to have everybody here. We're so excited to be able to share a really lovely experience that a lot of the youth had a chance to participate. I'll give a little bit of an intro after we sing our first song. So just wanted to say hi to everyone. So excited to be here. So excited that we could worship together this afternoon service and continue to praise the Lord in this way. So I would invite the singers and our praise team to come. We're going to sing Majesty to start, and then we'll have a prayer. So we can stand as we sing this song, and then we will pray afterwards. Twice? Yeah.
Kingdom authority.
Okay, let's bow our heads for prayer. Our gracious Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this beautiful day. Thank you for this Sabbath. Thank you for this time that we can come and we can listen and be encouraged by these beautiful experiences we'll hear today. Please be with all the youth and all the speakers that will be sharing today, and fill their heart and their minds with what you want them to share, and that we can get a blessing out of it all. Thank you so much for this day and for our community. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, maybe I'll just go back. So I just wanted to share one encouraging verse to start us off today, and it's in Colossians 3:16. And it says, "Let the message of Christ dwell among you richly, as you teach and admonish one another with all wisdom through psalms, hymns, and songs from the Spirit, singing to God with gratitude of your hearts, in your hearts." And when I read this verse, it made me think about one of my favorite things that I've ever experienced when I'm a part of these different congresses and conferences is just when you have an audience or a group of people just singing together. And I think you're going to see that theme a little bit in what the youth have to share today. So today we're going to have an exciting opportunity to listen to I think it's actually 10 of 11 of you that were actually in Europe together this summer. And we will hear from, I think, most of you about your different experiences from a spiritual aspect, from social, from physical, and all the fun that you guys had together. And it's a really great opportunity for us here in church who weren't there to hear about it and to be inspired by you guys, and also encourage whoever didn't go this year can come next time and experience it as well. And we are so happy to support all of the youth in this kind of thing, and we hope that it continues. So I know from my own personal experience going to these youth congresses, to the youth camps in Europe, they're really fun, and you get to meet people from all over Europe. And you make friends, kind of friends for life. And now every time that I go back to Europe, it's often these people that I met at the camp or I met at AYC or at the Congress that I'm still in touch with. So I would encourage everybody to think about going and invite your friends and make friends and enjoy in the experience together. So I'm not going to say much more because there's lots that everyone else is going to share. So I just wanted to explain a little bit of the structure for tonight. So we're going to hear, the first part we're going to hear is about Finland. So this year's Congress was in Finland in August. And Tina, Vivi, Samantha, the three ladies are going to share their experience in Finland. And then after that, we'll have Zoran and Joel share the experience in Serbia. So after Finland, they went to Serbia. And then the third part will be in Croatia and Fraterski, where Stefan and Matteo joined the group, which was fun, and David and Joshua as well. So Joshua will share, and then Daniela will share at the end. And then we'll have a special little video at the end of somebody sharing their overall experience. So wait until the end to see that. Someone that couldn't be here physically with us today, but was there as well. So that's kind of the structure for today. So I'll end my part of the service for the beginning, and I'll pass it over to Tina and Vivi. And you'll notice they did a really great job putting this presentation together, and you'll see some really fun pictures of the people leading. So Tina and Vivi, it's your time.
Okay, thank you, Nikki. So as she mentioned, we're going to start with Finland first. So this is just a group photo of us at the airport. I think there was around 7 or 8 of us that went together, as you can see there. And this is sort of the plane ride there. As you can see, it was a very long flight, so everyone was sleeping most of the flight or trying to fall asleep. And as you guys can see, that's the view that we had of Finland when it first came. So one thing that really surprised us was how green it was and how many beautiful lakes, and the nature itself was beautiful and stood out a lot. So our first stop was Finland.
So the first photo is the school that we stayed at. It was sort of separated into several schools where people would stay at, and then every country would be, I guess, designated to one school. And so we stayed with the Serbian group there. And the second photo is just an example of a Finnish breakfast that we had every morning. It was porridge, cucumbers, and then bread, except the porridge was salty, so many people were confused about that, but it was definitely an interesting experience and authentic Finnish food.
And the whole theme of the conference was plug in. So this idea of plug in with Jesus. And one of the things they talked about was like plug in with Jesus through nature or through some other aspects. And it was really interesting to have that sort of connection there. And the two main speakers that we had at the event was David Astrick and Daniel Bosked. And their sort of style of preaching, I'm sure everyone else that was there can relate, was really inspiring. It was very casual and relatable. There was even a time when David Astrick came in onto the stage on a skateboard, which was very memorable. But overall, the spiritual experience was very beautiful, as you guys will see later on. But the sermons itself, and I think that the whole message of the presentation, this idea to plug in into Christ, was really inspiring and was really touching, and something that I still remember to this day. I don't know if you have anything to add. No?
So there are several activities we were blessed to do, and one of the main ones was worship, which happened every evening, or you can come, before breakfast and have the small worship together. But in the evening, it was really powerful because there were so many of us in the room, and just hearing everyone sing together and like the room would like shake. It was great. It was really, it was a powerful experience, and we learned many new songs as well, such as the theme song, which you'll hear later on. And yeah.
And I just wanted to point out that being in such an environment like that where everyone's singing together and you hear that you're all praising the glory of God, it was just a very memorable experience. It's something that I personally will never forget. It was very cool. Go ahead.
Something else we were able to experience was the sun and cold water, as it is very like popular in Finland and in Switzerland and all those countries. And so, we had the opportunity to do that. I personally, it was not my thing, but it was definitely something to try. We had, I don't know if you could see him, but the guy in the back, sort of where Arthur is, he's from, where was he from, Sweden?
Yeah.
And so he really, added a lot of water to the sauna, difficult to breathe. So, but you know what, it was an authentic experience. And something interesting that they did was they would stay in the sauna for a bit and then immediately go into the cold water and then do that several times. And it was just an interesting cycle to do, yes. So, yes, apparently. No, not that we know of.
Yeah. Another cool thing was that we had a day where we had sports. And during that time, one of the sports that we participated in was volleyball. It was beach volleyball specifically, and it was really cool to not only play the sport together, but we also played with a couple of new friends that we met from France. So it was a really memorable experience to play together and have fun together.
Oh, this was really cool and my personal favorite. So since there were so many people from so many different countries, one day we had all of the countries create a booth where they would just share like their cultural, I guess, like their culture, and then they would show foods and stuff like that, which was really fun. And essentially we all have these booklets where when you go to each booth, you would have to get a stamp. And me and Joel were really into that, and we were determined to win. And we were one of the winners, which was great. Yeah. But you know what? Yeah. Anyways, nothing physical, but definitely an experience. We won in our hearts. And that's Zoran over there. That was a Croatian game. I believe you had to Slovenian?
What's it called?
Croatian? Oh,
Yeah.
Croatian. Yeah, and then you had to, what did you do? You like hit
Ball
something?
in the middle?
Yeah, exactly. You know it. Okay. And
knows
they did
something.
that. Yes. Yeah, so.
And
yeah.
one of the cool parts as well was one of the booths, you had the option of either doing a Bible quiz or they would take a picture of you and Photoshop you with Ellen White. So as you guys can see, we have Pastor Zoran, Vivi, and Joel there with Ellen White. So that was a really funny experience that we had. Yeah, Pastors was amazing.
In Finland especially, we met a lot of amazing people. I think that was honestly one of the best parts other than worship. And this is one of the groups that we, like some friends we made, they're from Serbia, and this is just a time where we went, around the area, and we just took this photo, which is really nice, had some pizza, and yeah. That was nice.
This is a couple other people that we met as well. We have our Croatian friends up there at the top right corner, and a bunch of other people that we met. And I would say that one of the biggest things about this experience is meeting other people that have the same faith as you. Is meeting people that have the same faith as you and being together in worship and knowing that you can connect with them, relate with them on a deeper level rather than people outside of the church. So I think for me as well, someone that hasn't gone to like an Adventist school or Adventist university, having this opportunity was amazing and really encouraging as well. We also, as we mentioned, got the opportunity to meet David Asherick, which was lots of fun. And we also met, there's a couple guys over there as well that we met that were from the Netherlands and from Germany, so we hung out with them a lot, and it was a really cool experience as well.
Yeah. That's them again. We hung out with them a lot during this trip, yeah. Oh, those are our friends from France. The girl in the purple is Loane, and then we have a couple that we played volleyball with, like we mentioned earlier, and that was really cool because we got to as well practice the language, which was really interesting, and it just I don't know, it was nice building that connection, especially since you don't meet many Seventh-day Adventists, and then when you meet so many at once, it just reminds you how many people share the same faith as you, which was really encouraging.
This is one of our favorite videos that we took of the trip. So it's where, it was the night before we were supposed to leave Finland, and it was after service. We went outside to eat, and we were teaching our friends from the Netherlands how to dance kola. So I'll show you guys the video.
Unfortunately, I took the video, so I wasn't able to be in it. Just wanted to put that out there.
There's no music.
No, there is music. There is music. There was.
No, there is music.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
our
once
cousins also joined, yes.
Joined in as well. Yeah. During that time, we also got the opportunity to celebrate Joel's birthday, which was a unique experience. We went into a Finnish restaurant and had pizza there, which was, I would say, good pizza. It was one of the best I've ever had.
Yes.
It was the best. Joel says it was the best.
The owner was also very kind. He gave us a free drink, I think, or something.
Yeah, but it was a really cool experience to have as well and to share that memory together in Finland. Oh, the ice cream.
Oh, yeah. Yes. That we were able to try, apparently, it's a Finnish thing, tar ice cream, was it? It tasted like smoked meat. It was with an aftertaste. Yes. Yes, but it tasted like smoked meat. Yes. And with an aftertaste of vanilla. So it was just interesting. Not my thing. Joel liked it, but yeah. Oh, yeah, what was that? No. It was so bad.
It was berry
Not.
ice cream?
No. Cloudberry was good. It was, I can't remember. I tried one. It tasted very bad, very bitter. Loganberry, yes.
We do not recommend. Yeah,
Exactly,
there you go.
exactly.
Now we know. That was all from us. Now we'll invite Samantha to come up and share.
Yes.
Apparently that's a picture of me being very hungry. Okay, I'm here to talk about the workshops in small groups. I don't know how many slides there are for me actually, but I'll talk about them. Each day there was about 2 workshops that you could go to, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. The topics that they had were very ranging from prayer, Bible and disabilities, your purpose in life, dealing with abuse, evangelism in the current world, navigating relationships, and more. There were also small groups that you would meet with every single day, and you were put into randomized groups that was on your lanyard, and you met with the same group every day. And it was my favorite part because I got to be personable with the same people that were from all over, and I made friends with people in Spain, Lithuania, Iceland, Trinidad and Tobago, and Serbia. And our last day that we had the small groups, my small group ended up actually going on a hike to discuss our topics together. And that was pretty cool because we hiked, and because you have a whole hour together. And we hiked and we ended up staying in a spot and we sat on the rocks and discussed our questions that were given to us. And it was really nice. And we all promised each other if we ever go to each other's countries that we have a place to stay. And the most interesting part that I think of the workshops was in the Grand Hall, there was a station for art. And it wasn't a workshop you had to sign up for. It was a station where if you were artsy or just needed an outlet to do something, you could just sit there and help make the display. And at the end of each day, the giant display was hung up above the stage. It was really massive. And you didn't know what it was supposed to be about, but when they hung it up, there was actually lights that were put into the sculpture, and they lit up, and at the end of the day, it spelled a word. And it was really nice. I guess no one took a picture, but it's in the video, I'm assuming, yeah. So now we're going to be playing a game. So if you have your phones, we're going to be playing Kahoot. There's 13 questions, so it's not very long. And the game pin's going to be put up soon. The questions are about the 3 countries we visited. A couple of questions about Finland, a couple of questions about Serbia, and a couple of questions about Croatia. Well, let's test your knowledge. Yeah. Can you put it full screen, please? The left. Yeah, where the volume is as well. I don't know if you want to put the Kahoot music. Sam, can you put the Kahoot music, please? The volume's also by that button on the left. I turned it off. Like, can you put the volume? It's the left. Oh, but it was playing before. Okay. Okay, thanks. I guess we'll imagine the Kahoot music. Seriously, Tiffany? My sister's on upstairs. Okay. Look, you're the golden noob. Hot dog. Give me a hand up if you still need a minute to. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Josh, are you the banana man? Oh, the code, it's the top middle. Oh. It's 541 4547. 4547. Raise your hand if you're still not in. Okay, 4 more people. The code is 541 4547. Oh yeah. If you're joining online, you may please join on, it's kahoot.it, kahoot.it. I hope to see you up there. Please join, and maybe you'll beat everyone that's here in person. Yay, we have 20 users so far. Thank you for joining. And we have a visitor who went in the back. He went downstairs, but it looked like Skylar. All right, we have a lot of participants. Let's see who's going to win the prize. 541 4547. He's upstairs. He's right there. But you, oh, I think I know it. He went to Kingston. Okay. Are we able to put it on the big screen? All right, we will wait. What do you call a cow with no legs? You're correct. Ground beef. No leg cow. What do you call a cow with only 2 legs? Lean beef. I'm thinking. It's not a cow joke, but why do bikes have 2 wheels? No, because they're too tired. You're welcome. Maybe he's online. Thank you, Sasha, for joining us. Congratulations on your baby. AV team, are we ready to go? Give me a thumbs up if we're ready to start. Well, I'm asking them because they're the ones clicking it. Thank you, though. Oh, we have more people, 22 people so far. And they're back. Platinum Egg. Interesting name. Mommy. Okay. I'm waiting for them to click. You can start the game whenever you're ready. Yeah, I don't have control of the game. Thank you. First question. Oh, sorry, it's going to be the title first. Europe trivia. 3, 2, 1. Number 1. Finns are the world's biggest coffee drinkers. True or false? Three, two, one. The correct answer is true. They are the world's biggest coffee drinkers. Next question, please. Ooh, vegan with 3 N's is in first. Number 2, how many saunas are there in Finland? Or as they say, sauna. Sauna. Is there 800,000, 1 million, 2.2 million, or 550,000? How many saunas are there in Finland? The population is 5 million, to give you some context. There are 2.2 million, so basically for every 2 Finnish people, there is 1 sauna. They keep them in their apartments. They have trailer attachments, or they go and share it with their family. All right, next question, please. Which sentence is in Finnish? There are 4 languages up there. It is red. I don't know how to read that. I'm sorry. Next question, please. Ooh. All right. For every female in Serbia, there are 0.95 men. True or false? Your ratios are pretty good if this is true. It is true. So for every full woman, there's just less of a man. Next question. Most last names in Serbia finish with what ending? correct. I'm very surprised that people clicked blue. That was a trick question. That's Slovenian. Serbia shares land borders with Croatia, Slovenia, Bulgaria, Macedonia, Bosnia, or Bulgaria, Romania, Croatia, Kosovo, Montenegro, China, Taiwan, Egypt, Morocco, Iceland, and Finland, or Croatia, Hungary, Bulgaria, Montenegro, Macedonia, Albania, and Romania. I made this one extra hard. Ooh, nice. 11 people got that correct. Next question, please. Ooh, Stefan, you're in third. Croatia is home to what was once the smallest town in the Guinness World Records book. The town is called Rab, only 15 people, Trogi, only 25 people, Valun, only 75 people, or Home, only 17 people. This town is no longer the smallest, but it was the smallest. It's Hum. Only 17 people were in this town. Okay, number 8. Croatian currency is named after a rodent. Kuna. True or false? True. Kuna is a type of ferret. Nikola Tesla was born in Croatia in the village of Pula, Smiljan, Korčula, or Motovun. Oh, I didn't know there was a ch, sorry. Korčula, thank you, Korčula. It is Smiljan. Now you know. Good job, Platinum Egg. Number 10. Roman gladiators used to fight in Croatia. True or false? True. Good job. 20 people out of 23 got that correct. Number 11. In Serbia, there is a river called Jir because it is 365 meters long. 365 meters is not very long, just so you know. True. Well, that's obviously the translated name. Serbia has how much coastline? 25K, 100K, 0K, or 2K? This is Serbia, remember. The answer is 0. This was a trick question. They don't have a coastline. And I believe this is our last question. True or false? Iceland doesn't have mosquitoes. I threw you a curveball. I learned this from my Icelandic friend, obviously. Does Iceland have mosquitoes? You have 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. The answer is true. They do not have any mosquitoes. Now we'll see the winners of this Kahoot. Number 3, Sam's sister. Number 2, Nels. Good job. And number 1, Platinum Egg. Congratulations. I don't know. Who is Platinum Egg? Please reveal yourself. Congratulations. You can go back to the slideshow now. Okay. This is our theme song. You can play the theme song.
is longing to feel your presence. I just need your light to shine once more. But in the silence I will find you again. Lord, in the silence I can hear your voice. When I fall, I will arise, and even in the darkest times, you will be a light to me. I will fear no evil, as I know you are my guiding star. You're my only Savior, everlasting, pure source of life. Your children suffer from disconnection. They're in need of someone who truly cares. Give them your love, share my hope and my faith. I show them Jesus is the only way. When I fall, I will arise, and even in the darkest times, you will be a light to me. I will fear no evil, as I know you are my guiding star. You're my only Savior, everlasting, pure source of life. My Creator, you have saved me. Lord, you give me your unfading love.
You're my healer, redeemer. You give me strength as I need it. I adore you, King of the universe.
Yeah, I expected my picture. No, Joel is after me. Okay, it will be interesting picture, but yeah, you have noticed that we had wonderful time in Finland. We met a lot of young people, enjoyed the sermons, songs, and etc. And after Finland, we decided to go to Fratarski Island in Croatia. There was another, yeah, this is, yeah, down, down. Yeah, this is. Do you know the name of this cake? Yeah, another name, knedle sa šljivama or gomboci. Yeah, in my hometown, that's gomboci. I think that's Hungarian name, and this is Vivi and Tina. We prepared this after you left Belgrade. Yes, I think that you cannot buy this in Canada. This is just homemade. Huh? Okay, after Finland, we decided to go to Fratarski Island in Croatia. There was another youth meeting, but we had a gap of 6 days between Finland and Fratarski Island, and we decided to go to Serbia, to Belgrade. And our accommodation was at theological seminary in Belgrade. They were nice hosts. They allowed us to use their car for city tour. That was very nice of them. And we visited Kalemegdan Fortress, downtown, Skadarlija, Saint Sava Temple, Mountain Avala, and the waterfront Belgrade. Also, one day we went to Novi Sad, and on Friday we went to Niš, and on Sunday, day after, we served during divine service in Niš, and on Sabbath after lunch in Niš, we went back to Belgrade, where there was organized youth meeting, and we also served in Belgrade. And Joel will share some pictures, you will see, but before I let him speak, I can say what youth told me after city tour in Belgrade. And this is, some of them said, Belgrade is so different from Finland. Finland is similar to Toronto, but this is a different world, and we like this. Helsinki, Finland is similar to Toronto, but this is a different world. Kalemegdan, Skadarlija, and etc. And Joel will show us some pictures. And Joel, nice to that.
Wow. That's the best picture we had of me the entire trip. And that's how I spelled my name when we were in Serbia. To best assimilate, to culture, and so I looked like domestic. But before I go to Serbia, I just want to say, when we landed in Helsinki, we had a group chat to organize this whole slideshow, and they did a great job putting the slideshow together. Tina. But I sent a picture. When we landed in Helsinki, every taxi was electric. Blew my mind. Every taxi. Every single taxi, every electric car. It was nuts. And we had a lot of other pictures that we didn't share. I sent 269 photos to the group chat. Obviously, we're not going to show you 269 photos of just... we don't have enough time. But this is in Serbia. So our accommodation that we stayed in Serbia, it wasn't a 5-star hotel, but it felt like a 5-star hotel. It was the seminary in Belgrade. The seminary in Belgrade, we had all the guys. We had our own rooms, Arthur, Pastor, and I. I wonder if we showed it. When we got there, we dropped off our stuff, and we headed downstairs to like the kitchen kind of hangout area. It was the cafeteria, but it had a couch. And it was like, how late was it? It was like 1 a.m. Midnight to 1 a.m., somewhere there, and we said, we're kind of hungry, we're snacky. What can we do? What's open? And Pastor Zoran goes, something has to be open. It's Belgrade. And so we go, and there was a 24-hour, 7 days a week sign, so it's always open. Little place where we got snacks, chocolates, some drinks, and we sat down and we played Uno. Uno was our game. It was called Uno Flip. It was our game. If there was any waiting time, if there was a moment of like, what do we do now? Uno flip? Yeah, it was pretty much that. And we had a great time. The sightseeing in Belgrade and Serbia was amazing. Now, this part of the trip that I'm going to be describing, I probably got this as my thing to describe because I found it so dope. Okay, this was so cool. Belgrade is one of those cities where you step into a world of not just culture and people that emanate the Serbian kind of heritage that they're proud of, that they're like accepting of. There's both old and new, and everyone is in both. There's not like one group of people that like, oh, old Belgrade's the best, or one group of people saying no, new Belgrade's the best. It's like Belgrade is the best, and you'll see why. The sightseeing that we got to do, they made man-made lakes that are their beaches because they have zero coastline like we saw in Cahoot, and so they made a lake, made a beach. They have lifeguards. There's a bunch of things you can do there. Obviously, this sign that we took a picture next to. And then the boardwalk. The boardwalk is brand new. The boardwalk looks like better than Lakefront in Toronto, Lakeshore. If you ever walk down that, it's cleaner. I don't know, just to me, it looks better. All the bridges are lit up in multicolors like that. I guess that's the only picture I sent of a bridge lit up. But that bridge, okay, you want to know about history in Belgrade, that bridge was built by the Nazi, in World War II by the Germans, and it's still working. They're still using it. Like that wasn't like, Serbians didn't go, you know what, I think we need a bridge here. The Germans came, bombed everything, and said, we need to build a bridge to get in and out. And then after the war, the Serbians came back, they're like, this bridge is pretty good. Let's keep it. And they just keep using it to this day, which is amazing. Nowhere that I've been have they said the occupying nation that came in here built this awesome thing. I think we should keep it and keep using it. They always tear down the old regime and build up from brand new so that they can say that everything here is built by the people here. Serbians, they're like, free stuff? Awesome. It was awesome. And they're so proud of it too, lighting it up, making it so well known. This is the tour. So the house that we took in the top left-hand corner is where the prime minister lives, right? The president. Mayor, right? I know it was. So they're right across the. So one building is the mayor, and then across the street is like the parliament, right? Yes. Yeah, and I looked like the White House. Like it was, everything in a downtown core is very packed together, very close. Not the mayor's place. He had like 5 acres, 10 acres to himself, and I was like, we got there. Everyone's like, oh, someone important has to live here. The mayor lives there. And to me, the mayor isn't important enough. You know what the mayor has in Toronto? An apartment in Toronto, in some building. That's all the mayor we give our mayor here. In Belgrade, the best, okay? Always the best. The bus tour was so cool. We found out about so much history. Talking about history, Kalemegdan. That word is actually Turkish. Can someone remind me what that means in Turkish? No one knows? Sorry? The Rocky Town? No, I was told when we were there that it means city on a mountain like that isn't defeated or that is defeated. Like it's one or the other. Battle on a hill. That's what it is. Battle on a hill. And that's what they called it because the Turks built this fortress. And, oh man. Okay, so let me tell you about this place. Okay, it's really cool. Okay? We get in there. Everywhere else in the world, when it's a historical site, they make it pristine. They don't want you to touch it. They don't want you to renovate it. They don't want you to make it look any better than it did. Nothing. Whatever it looks like, just cut the grass. That's how most people, most countries maintain fortresses like this, and that's how it is. Not Belgrade. They put a basketball court in there. They put a volleyball court in there. They put a children's playground in there. They put a museum in the middle, like a new building. They constructed a new building or renovated a new building and put a museum in the middle about history and just, you can go there and hang out. It's not a museum. It's still used today. Like, where can you go in the world where they're still like, oh, you know what, I might go hang out with my friends at the Fortress, we might shoot some hoops, play some volleyball, maybe some tennis. There's tennis courts in there. The basketball team in Belgrade is Partizan? Crvena Zvezda, thank you. Crvena Zvezda, they practice in Kalemegdan. They have courts made specifically for their practices in the fortress. Guys, it's really cool. This fortress is situated on a very vital point of the Danube and what's the other river? Sava, thank you. This major route connects all the way northern Europe all the way down. And it runs right here. That's why the Turks built their fortress here, because it was a choke point for the Auto-Hungarian Empire when they were coming down. When you see the mishmash of cultures, the blending, the melding of acceptance of this was our history, this is some European Austrian, this is some Hungarian, this is Serbian, this is Turkish, this is Ottoman, and it all just works. It just works. And it was awesome to experience that level of, let's just maintain this, let's accept everything as our history. There's a bunch of sculptures in there that are from I don't have enough time. Okay, guys, I don't have enough time. I know, I sent 269 pictures, right? There was 2 there. Okay, I have 12 more slides. Skadalja, anyone in Serbia knows Skadalja. It's a well-known oldest street in Belgrade. And it's just really nice. The restaurants were phenomenal. Guys, food there is like pennies, all right? We went out to eat with 8 of us. I think it cost us like $100. Maybe. It probably did cost us $100, $120 for 8 or 9 people to eat like a feast, like we were royalty, okay? They even played music behind us. Bands came around. You give them a few bucks and they play songs for about an hour until you like a little bit of annoyed that they're still playing music around you. That's the picture on the right. Picture on the right is Arthur, Pastor Zoran, and I walking up the street because it's on an incline. It's cobblestone street. At the base of that cobblestone street is originally built Ottoman fountain. It's this really big. Yeah, I don't even know that was a thing. That was the word, but that's what it is, and it's still used today. Like they use everything, and it looks so good. It's not run down. It's not overused. It's still in great condition. The street is in great condition. This is Novi Sad. Now Novi Sad is again. I'm speaking to a bunch of Serbs and Croats about all this stuff. So I'm speaking on behalf of everyone streaming, and maybe that's not from Croatia or Serbia. But Novi Sad is in the north part of Serbia, and it's in the part of Serbia that's kind of on the border of Vojvodina, right? Right? Okay, cool. And this is so in Belgrade where we were, it was mostly Ottoman occupied, and that architecture and that way of like where they drew out all the lines and how they drew the city streets and how the culture kind of melded in is still kind of there. Same thing with Novi Sad. That's part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and so it's very European, very like blocked, very clean, refined, kind of like there's only right angles. Ottomans, there's a lot of designs in their architecture. With the Austro-Hungarians, it was very right angles and a little bit of, the cathedral church was the fanciest thing there. And we also had the privilege, I would say it was the privilege, we entered a synagogue. This synagogue was used up until 1944. In 1944, when the Novi Sad was occupied by the German forces, they rounded up all the Jewish people in Novi Sad and took them to a camp, an extermination camp, a work camp, I think. There was a plaque there that I took a picture of. It didn't make it in to the slideshow. And on behalf, the whole city says it's part of our history. We need to maintain this building. There's not enough Jews that are, so the building's not being used. There's no functionality behind this building, but because it's part of their history, they want the people that were taken to be remembered. They want to never forget what happened. They're upkeeping the building on the city's dime. And it's being upkept. So we entered, we took pictures, we looked around. Everything looks like exactly it did. It's not dusty. It's not like, oh, this definitely was abandoned in 1944. No, like people are they're still taking care of it in honoring all the Jews that used to live there. Top right and bottom right. So top right, we're looking at the stage like you guys are looking at me. And bottom right, it's me looking at you guys and what it is. So they have, again, seats like this, looking this way, and then they have a balcony all the way around, wrapped all the way around. Stained glass windows. It was really nice. So, Petrovaradin. Yeah, it's a fortress. But this is an Austro-Hungarian fortress, and this is newer than what we saw in Kalemegdan, but it was still really cool. This is like the equivalent of what Kalemegdan is, but in Novi Sad and on the Austro-Hungarian side. So there's restaurants up there. You walk all the way up these like brick, it's not cobblestone, it's brick that are built into stairs with big blocks of stone after the brick is stopped. It's acres and acres of just on top of this hill, again, on the river Danube. This is still the Danube. Okay, I'm always looking down to Pastor Zoran so that I'm not saying Sava instead of Danube, because I made that mistake a lot when we were there, just trying to remember all the cool things that I thought were cool. They had Palichinke 24/7 as well. So if we, instead of landing in Belgrade, if we landed in Novi Sad, like for the first night, we all would have been so fat because we would have just eaten Palichinke the entire time. Yeah, they were massive, really big Palichinke. The grandparents of Daniela Ostojic. So, what? Oh, yeah. That's cool. I didn't notice that. This is also the location. I do want to mention it. Daniela's grandparents, we met them there. A few tears, but they were really cool people. They laughed at all my jokes. That's all I cared about. Mostly nodding along, actually. They didn't understand me much. Now, when we went back to Belgrade, because Novi Sad was a day trip, we actually went up there twice. We went up there for a day and then for an evening, and then we came back. This is back in Belgrade. This is like the biggest radio tower needle that's in Belgrade. On what was really awesome about spending time in Serbia is that we had free time to do whatever we wanted. In Finland, everything was mapped out for us. Where we were, what time we were supposed to be there, how many free periods we had, and how much time that was. But everything was mapped out. In Croatia, same thing. You know, when we were in Croatia, everything was mapped out. When we were supposed to be there, how long we were supposed to be there, what games we were supposed to play, who was supposed to lead that out. Everything was mapped out for us. Serbia was the only place where we could say, what do you want to do? Arthur? I want to take a nap. Okay, Arthur, you take a nap. Daniela, what do you want to do? I kind of want to go see a radio tower needle at the top of Belgrade and go for a little hike. And we're all like, cool, we're doing that. So that's what we did. We were taken by some locals, and they brought us up there. We took a couple cool pictures. It was like the CN Tower of Belgrade. Not as tall as the CN Tower, obviously, but some cool history behind this. It was bombed in 99, they said. In 99, this was bombed. This was a main target. They said it was a military outpost for communications. It was the local radio tower, so everyone used it for whatever they wanted to use it for. There was no military aspect other than maybe relaying some messages. So it had to be taken out. The UN bombed it, or NATO bombed it, NATO bombed it, and they rebuilt it. So there are some original parts, not on this site that you're looking at with this picture on the left, but at a kind of a bit, there's a big dish that's original apparently, that I didn't take a picture of. the elevators are operated by guards. Like, there's a pad with letters on it, and I walked up to it, and I'm like, is there like a passcode that I was supposed to get at the door to get up to the top? And the guard said something like, no, I call. And so there's a guy on the ground floor, there's a guy on the restaurant floor, and then there's a guy on the viewing deck. And you have to tell them, the guy that's standing there at the elevator, what deck you want to go to. And then they call an elevator specifically for you to enter that specifically shoots up to that level. And it's to, when there's high traffic times, it's so that the elevators don't get stuck, going to every floor, whenever. The guy calls it up directly to you and shoots directly down, and then it shoots back up. It's just apparently faster. In Novi Sad, again, we visited churches. In Niš, we visited a church, and in Belgrade, we visited a church. Oh, no. Okay, we're going to watch this. Okay, we could skip this because I have a lot to say. Is there volume behind that? I'm okay with no volume. My accent was really hard. We spoke Serbian. That's the video that we actually chose. That Pastor Zoran goes, okay, guys, I know you're sleep deprived. I know you guys want to take a nap right now, or just go, do anything, but create a video to send off to a bunch of people you have never met, but you will meet all at one time, and you have to speak in Serbian, by the way. And we're all like, let's do this. We were so giddy, guys. We were sleep deprived to a point where everything we said was funny. When you get to that point, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. 3 days with like 3 hours of sleep, everything's funny. The silliest jokes are funny. That's exactly what happened. Can we watch it? And then I press enter.
Sljedeće subote, 13. avgusta u 19 časova u Plavoj sali u Božidarcu imat ćemo jedno posebno omladinsko bogosluženje. Ako imate problem i nekada ste zbunjeni, a kažu naučnici da nema čoveka bez problema, iza svačijeg osmeha krije se problem. Dođite da govorimo o Bogu koji je veći od svakog našeg problema. A sa mnom na bogosluženju će biti jedna lepa grupa mladih iz Toronta koja želi da vas upozna.
Ja se zovem Joe i ovo je moj prvi put u Srbiji.
Ja se zovem Samantha i ovo je isto moj prvi put u Srbiji.
Ja se zovem Daniela i u Kanadi jašemo polarne medvede, jedemo puti svaki dan i živimo u iglu.
Zovem se Valentina i da li mislite da je istina šta je Daniela rekla?
Zovem se Bibi i ako hoćete znati odgovor, dođite u subotu da više znate od nama.
Ja sam Arthur. Nadamo se da ćemo se vidjeti tamo.
Vidimo se.
Okay, so that video was sent ahead of us to welcome everyone, like saying that we're coming to Belgrade, and we hope to see you there on that Saturday because we'll be having some kind of presentation. Yeah, a lot of people came. I don't know, can someone translate word for word exactly what Daniela said? Because that was the funny part for me. Yeah, Vivi, go ahead. So we were supposed to... Yeah. So what this video was to attract people to come. And we thought, hey, Canadians were, foreigners were, what's it called when someone is, like interesting to see because they're foreign. No, like we're an attraction, we're a circus. Yeah, and so we were saying like stereotypical things that Canadians, at least Daniela did, that Canadians did, and the thing was true or false. Canadians ride polar bears to work every day. And so it was just like a funny thing that it felt random when we were doing it. And it still is random, actually, Pastor Zoran. So it was just interesting to do. No one asked us about that. We have no idea who's seen it except you guys right now. Okay, this is Tina and Vivi's uncle, right? He came to Novi Sad to pick them up so that they can hang out with their family who lives in what town? There. And yeah, we hung out with them a bit. He looks exactly like you, man. Exactly like you. Like, I thought I was seeing you for a second, and then I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, no glasses. That's what threw me off. But we had a games night in Novi Sad Church. It was great. The people there are amazing. This is us in Niš. We did a worship, so we sang. And the pastor's daughter and son, they're actually, are they just friends and these are two different pastors? Because I wasn't clear about that. They're cousins. Okay, so they just said, hey, yeah, we can sing with you too. It was planned for Samantha, Daniela, and I to sing. They were just thrown in. And we were like, cool. And we sang with them for song service. And that was fun. Daniela said something. Daniela, what was your role there again? Offering. She did offering. You didn't talk at all, Sammy? I did something too. What I did was I talked about the youth and how our youth functions and what we do to keep everyone interested and active in the church and how we keep youth attracted to coming back and what they can do possibly to attract more youth. Because in Niš, there's not many youth. There's like 3 people my age, 4 other people my age. And then 3 or 4 people my age. And then the rest were like kids under the age of 12. And there's a huge gap, apparently, like pretty much, of youth. And so my talk was just to say like, hey, this is what we found that works. And if you have any better ideas or some way for us to improve, we would like you to tell us. And if you want any pointers of what we did to see how it could work in your church, just come and ask us. And we'd like to have a conversation with that. And so that's what I presented. This is in Belgrade worship. I did the exact same thing I just told you that I did in Niš, just in the Belgrade church. The Belgrade church is much bigger than the Niš church, like way. Like it's a huge. Yeah, Samantha did do something here. You did the standing on eggs and the wolf. Yeah, stronger in the pack. So we did stuff in those churches. Now again, Serbia was an add-on to what we were doing. The intention of our trip was to go to Finland and then to Croatia. And because we had this time, again, pastor is always on the job, and he preached at every one of these churches. He wanted to make sure that we did something at these churches to let them know that we appreciate them watching us on stream, if you're doing that right now, guys, or if just to create a relationship with us so that they feel more than welcome, like we said when we were there. If you are watching the stream right now, anyone from Niš or anyone from Belgrade, anyone else in Serbia or Croatia, that please come to Toronto, and we would be more than happy to welcome you over here, because they did that for us. They made us feel like family. I can't press play, so Sam, if you want to just press enter. This is us, whatever song we sang. Okay, so yeah, we had a song. It was nice. I'm trying to speed through the rest of it because there's a lot of backstory to a lot of this stuff. I went to high school with the guy to the left, so did Samuel and Aaron and Vanessa and Brandon. Philip, his last name is? Yeah, I'm just making sure that everyone at different times is saying the same word. If one person just said it twice, I would have had it. Zadia. Awesome. He's actually a great guy. He's actually the guy and his sister-in-law with her baby and his brother's kid, they took us to the Needle. They again, when you're around people in Serbia, in Croatia, and wherever we were in Europe, we were treated like, oh, we got to show you places. We got to do things with you. And that's what they did. It was really nice. Pizza is amazing, Belgrade, guys. Pizza? Ooh. Thank you. I had way more to say, but they cut me. 269 photos.
Okay, looks like we need to give Joel another afternoon service to share the rest of the photos. Sounds good. Okay, the last part that we wanted to share was about Croatia, but before we do that, I'm just going to invite Joshua to collect offering, and then we will continue with the last part, which will be shared by Stefan with Joshua, and then Daniela at the end as well. So, Joshua, you can come up, and I think they're ready, so you're good.
So it seems my wild goose chase looking for those things while Joel was talking was for nothing because they found them. Okay, the offering for today is going to be 2 Corinthians 9 verse 7. So let each one give as he proposes in his heart, not grudgingly or of necessity, for God loves a cheerful giver. It doesn't matter how much you give, just what you give means. Preacher, I pray after. You guys can go collect the offering, please. Please bow your heads and close your eyes for prayer. Dear Lord, thank you that we were able to come here to this afternoon service. I thank you that we were able to have a great Sabbath, and we're able to spend time with each other again since last week. I pray that the money given will be given to good causes and go towards your prosperous future. In your name, amen.
So that's on me trying to do the impression of The Rock, if you guys didn't know. So me and Mateo actually got here later. We were in Serbia for a bit with our family before that to see some family. And this is both of us, our groups, arriving to the dock. There was actually a transporter boat, like a mini ferry, that would take us to the island. It would be like a 10-minute boat ride or something like that. And we would get all of our luggage, and we would get there. And I believe it was Sunday night that we got there. And we had a worship on that night. And it was really nice. This is where we did most of our swimming. It was on these rocks. We would do like cliff jumping on here. It was maybe like 3 meters high. It wasn't that high, but we had fun on it. But yeah, this is where we would go every day. For our free time, we would swim there. We would enjoy ourselves a lot. And we would also watch the sunsets here every night. Really beautiful. The water was really clear, really beautiful there. And in the night, we would watch stars, and it was very beautiful to see the ocean in the night and the skies and all that. But one night, we had a thunderstorm, and we would watch the thunderstorms in the distance. And then that night, we got hit pretty hard with thunderstorms. It was a pretty scary time there, but some tents got flooded, but we were okay. So in the first picture here, that was one of the worships that we had there. I believe this is a morning worship. And we would start off with songs, maybe like 2 or 3 songs, and then we had a speaker. The main speaker was, I think, Dan Stojkovic, was it? He was a very cool guy. He was very friendly, and he had some really nice things to say for his sermons. And after that, we would sing some more, and then everyone liked the song so much, we would want to sing like another 5 or 6 songs. It was really beautiful. And then we also did a volleyball tournament. In that bottom picture there, that was our volleyball team. Mateo is there. I don't know why he's not in the picture, but yeah, it was like a big volleyball tournament. We had it was like a 3 or 4 hour tournament, and then we continued it the next day. It was like there was a lot of volleyball on that day. And then on that right picture there, that's we met our cousins there. I think we saw them last about 9 years ago. So it was really nice to see them there. And they were happy to see us too. So hopefully we'll see them again soon. Yeah. So this is us in Pula. We went to visit the city. There was a lot of these, these Roman kind of structures. On the left there, it was in the Pula town square. And we took a picture there. Joel's giving a nice selfie. We went to this kind of coffee shop for some water. It was really hot that day. And then that's us biting into our burgers, enjoying. Huh? How many burgers did I eat? Oh, no, he only had one. But the burgers were big. The burgers, as you can tell, our bites were pretty big. This is some more sightseeing of Pula. This was that, it's like that Colosseum in Rome, but it looks like that one from Italy, but this one was in Pula, so it was pretty cool to see. It's the second biggest in the world, as Joel says, after Rome. And in that fountain picture at the bottom there, that's the layout of the whole Pula town. So it's kind of like a stone sculpture kind of, and they kind of sculpted the town in that one fountain there. So that was pretty cool to see. And then on that bottom right, that's us waiting for our taxi to get back to the dock, to go back to the island. Game nights were pretty fun at Fraterski. We met a lot of new people. That's probably what we loved the most there, of how many people there were at Fraterski. I think there were about 130 people. Yeah, there was a lot of people. Met a lot of new people from Germany, Netherlands, around the whole world. It was really nice to meet all these new people. That's probably us playing Uno Flip at the top there. And yeah, that's all from my end. I think it's just Joshua. Yeah.
Two slides, good. Sadly, David began to feel sick this morning, so he is not here with us today, but I'm here. So our time here was cut short due to prior plans and post plans. So we were there for like 3 days and 2 nights. Half the time, or never mind, I'll say later. So we had, I'd say, a lot of fun there. Met a lot of unfamiliar faces, yet I still felt quite welcome because everyone just felt like family. And obviously, I also saw some familiar faces with our church friends, and we went there along with an old friend of ours, Gina. Some of you guys might remember her. I really enjoyed just the location of the place, and the slides shown before with the rocky whatever place where beach, yeah. It looked amazing. The one time that I did swim there, it was very nice and fun, and it was also just nice to lay down in the sun on the rocks and try to find a comfortable place to lie down. There was one time when it was getting really just rainy and windy, and the place where I once swam in calm water was so like the waves were crashing and it was quite dangerous. David would, if he were here, he would have shown and talked about how he jumped in, the brave man. He jumped in there when the waves were crashing, and he got out eventually. He had to hold on to the rocks while the waves were crashing, and he got cut up quite a bit in the legs and such, but he's all fine now. Joel saved him. Yeah. It was quite the story to hear, because I was not there, but it would have been quite funny to see. I'm his brother, so I can say it. So I can say that. Aside? Oh yeah, the thing. So we met everyone. The whole tent area was also quite nice. At first, when I got there, I thought that everyone there was there for like our thing. So I thought there were a lot more people that were there, but it was still good to see all the people that I did end up seeing. I don't remember really everyone that I did talk to. I tend to do that a lot, but the few people that I did see and talk to were very fun to talk with. I remember that Scottish friend of ours. Irish, yeah. I keep getting them mixed up. Northern Ireland, yeah. He was very fun to talk to and listen to him and David talk a lot, because David's a history nut and that guy knows more history as well. The sermons and stuff, those were also quite nice to listen to. I especially remember the one, I think it was Friday night, where we all went to the beach, or the rocks, yeah. The songs sung there and such were just beautiful, and just watching the sunset as we were all just there together, it was a very nice moment. Next slide. Yeah, I guess that's all of us together. I have no idea where I am there. I don't know when that was taken, so me and David might not even be there, yeah. We were there in spirit. I played a lot of volleyball with some German kids there. I have no idea if they were with us. I thought I saw some of them that came along to some of our events, but yes, they were not. Sam was shaking her head. I had fun playing volleyball with them. I was not in the volleyball tournament, so I got my fix. And one of the stormy nights that were there were apparently a few before me and David came, so we were quite unprepared when it came to a tent and sleeping bag wise, but our parents were able to supply us with what we needed. Thank you very much. If it was a normal night, sadly the first night that we came, it was not a normal night. It was a stormy, thunderous night, which would have been very nice to listen to had I not been unprepared. The small tent that me and David were just barely able to fit into, which we were content with because we fit inside, we could have slept nice, and then the rain began, and then it kept coming and coming, and then it began to flood inside our tent, and we had to take what we could and run to the bathrooms and just sit there and wait. It was honestly quite fun, despite how frightening it would have seemed. I knew that we'd be fine, so it was fun. And then the next night, luckily, some people that were in Zoran's tent left, so me and David could bunker in with him for the next night, and the rest of the trip was all fine. And it was just really a nice experience to be around a bunch of unfamiliar yet also familiar faces and hear a bunch of music and see some scenery that I've never seen before, and I'm really blessed to have seen. Friday morning, I think, David asked me to go around the whole entire rocky part of it and take a bunch of pictures of him so we could show Brianna. And that was just a nice moment that I had with him, but also just seeing the whole entire environment in a different setting this morning. I have a bunch of pictures of those. Sadly, they can't be seen here. They are confidential now. And that is just about all I can think of saying for Danielle.
For reference, that picture was taken after I was trying to take a rock out of the bottom of my sandal. It got stuck, and somehow my finger started bleeding, an absurd amount, so I had to be healed. So where do I even begin with this? So before I continue, I wanted to go back because just for context for some of these pictures, so this picture was so interesting to take because it was one of the nights when we just finished worship, we sung a bunch of songs, and we're about to go play games together and have some free time before bed when we saw these moving dots in the sky, moving in like a sequence, and we were looking, and we were all fully convinced that it was aliens. We were like, guys, like there is alien life form out there. We were so convinced, and we saw them like coming in together, separating, and then going, and then disappearing. We're like, it's aliens. Until we figured out it was actually the Tesla satellite. So we actually got to see it. It was pretty cool. We got some pictures. That was the closest that we could get with that. And also with the volleyball tournament, like we only like lightly said like, haha, yes, it was 3-4 hours. We had lots of fun. It lasted like 2 days. But guys, this was taken so seriously. I don't think I could express. It was so serious that even after we made teams, like we already made our team of, Canadians, I was kind of like, I don't think I've ever had in my life Canadian be my personality type than before I went to Fraterski, because that was like the only thing that everyone knew us for. And so obviously we were making our team, and Joel was the captain, and we had to like come up with names and write it down. And like, I had this little 10-year-old come up to me being like, you guys need to write down the name, you need to write down the people. And like it was like a stressful thing so that the tournament could start. And I was like, I don't know where Joel is. So I had to just write down a name. So I was like, well, I'm gonna put down Kanajani, like what else am I gonna put? And so we started playing, but then Dario and his friends cornered me and Sammy like a gang. Like these guys, like the 3 of them came around us. I can't even say this seriously, but it was like, so you really want to play with your Canadian friends? And we're like, yes, we're already playing. I don't think you want to do that. You want to play with our team. You play with them all the time, but you never play with us. And we're better. Like literally it was like a drug deal. He was trying to poach us from our team, but no, we stuck together. And it was very fun. And also, by the way, that team cheated. They made 3rd and we made 4th, but it should have been the other way around. So I just want to say that out there. Dario, if you're watching, you guys cheated. Okay, so back to my part of the slideshow. So I'm going to be talking about the spiritual impact that we had at Fraterski, and the testimonies and music and the baptism that we had at the end. So this is just a clip of one of the last days that we had at Fraterski, and we were singing together. And before you start playing, I just want to preface that at the beginning of this camping trip, when we would start singing together, everyone was so shy to sing out loud because no one really wanted to be heard. They didn't want to be the loudest voice. It was so weak, and I'm sitting here and like I'm like the only voice that you can hear in this entire camp, and I'm like, why am I the only one being heard? Like, come on, like as everyone gets singing. But by the end of it, we all got to know each other and all got comfortable, and the atmosphere, like you could actually feel the Holy Spirit grow more and more and more in this atmosphere throughout the week. That like you couldn't help but sing as loud as you can. That literally like everyone around our campsite heard us and knew who we were. So you can play the clip now.
True, changing me and changing you. We have come with open hearts, all that the ancient words impart. Ancient words ever true, changing me.
Yeah, so I can't express how amazing the atmosphere was again, because I don't think I ever experienced the presence of the Holy Spirit more than in this place, where I actually saw throughout the week, every single day, there were, groups of people just singing hymns on their own throughout the day, and it wasn't even Sabbath. And like, you could be doing anything. We had so much free time that, there were games and activities organized for us. Like we were going cliff jumping, people swimming all day long. Like you could be doing so many different things and playing card games and all, but people decided to sit and sing hymns. Like it was such a blessing to experience and to see that. And we also had a choir by the end of the week for the baptism. We were getting prepared. And I don't think I jumped so quick at an opportunity than this, because, I grew up watching these people's churches and events like this and the choirs, like, at home when we would spend Sabbath at home, and like I knew a lot of these songs and like these kind of atmospheres, and I would see how, choirs in Serbia and Croatia would sing, and my opportunity to actually be in one of these choirs, like, I wanted nothing more, and I ran so quick to this group of people for this practice. and to sing at the baptism at the end, and it was such a blessing to experience. Oh, going to the next slide. So for the testimonies, we had about 2 testimonies every evening. And, it was usually it was like 2 slot options. So it's like either is however many people wanted to come forward, but you would have a max of 2. But I don't know what it was about the atmosphere, but it was just so inspiring that we would always have 2 people going. And they're supposed to go for about 5 minutes. But every testimony would go for about half an hour, because you would hear such amazing stories from, kids that are like in their, mid-teens. Like they're just entering high school, if not already in high school. And you're hearing like such ordinary kids speaking about stories of like their amazing conversions and finding Jesus, and, just like testimonies that you would never even think to hear from a child or from a teenager. And it was just very inspiring, and it was, really great. But normally they would be held at the original campsite that you guys saw. So in the evening time, we had some like torches lit up, and it was very dark. And, so it was more like a cozy atmosphere. And this was for Friday night when we were starting Sabbath. We decided to go along the rocks. And it was really, really nice. And we had lots of music, and we'd sing together. And we always opted to sing like at least 5 songs. And we would switch between English and Serbian. And we had they printed out a bunch of the booklets of songs. And there were like, I think 60 songs in this booklet. But we'd always manage to like narrow it down to like our favorites that we would repeat singing all the time. Okay, so this was the baptism and a little bit more of the testimonies. So as you can see, I'm in one of the choirs. I was really excited to be a part of that. And we had 7 people baptized at the end of this week. And I think that was like their highest number that they've had so far. And because of that, we had on Saturday, everyone's families come and their friend that, we had like a few hundred people squeeze into this one little shoreline. And we had, we were singing, and they had speakers, and Zoran spoke. And you would have people on boats just like kind of, cruising by. And they're watching us, and like, obviously like they're just having a good old time, like on an island on vacation. And they're like actually like engaged with like, what's going on over there? Like, what is happening? And they would stop and they would listen for a bit. And it was really cool to see like, how we were able to impact the people around us, even on vacation. And we had an amazing time with the choir, and it was just so blessed. I can't, the atmosphere was indescribable. And all I can say about being in the choir was that I don't think I ever felt more in my element being in this choir. It was just the best thing ever to experience. And another thing I wanted to say was that in terms of the spiritual impact, so we had, I think, 2 storms hit us throughout the week. So the first one was more mild, like it was just heavy rain. It wasn't too bad. And we woke up and it was like, oh, some of us were wet, some of us were dry, some people's things maybe got a little wet. And the second one, we got a little warning in the beginning. So we were having worship, and one of the cooks came out and he was like, I just want to warn you guys. Yeah, I know. He was saying like there is a big, big storm that hit Italy and it caused a lot of damage. And, we just want to prepare you guys if we have to evacuate, and like be prepared to leave that, and like dig trenches around your tents and like get ready to be hit with this really, really big storm. And, that had people shaken up a little bit. And all of us were checking the radar maps, like seeing if it's going to hit us. And it looked like it wasn't, but we still were nervous because, it would, like we heard about the really big damage that it made in Italy. And afterwards, people kind of didn't really know what to do with themselves. They were like, okay, do we hang out? But it's like a storm's coming, and do we hide in our tents? Like, we don't know what to do. And I was also like, okay, I will admit myself, I was a little scared, because I was like, well, this is my first time being away from my family on an island, camping, and being hit with a big storm. Like, that's not the most pleasant experience. I want to relax. And I remember, so the group of, it was mainly the Croatians and the Serbs that were together. They started singing U miru gospodnjem together, which I thought was the most perfect song to sing in this kind of scenario, because it's talking about, you're about to be hit with the storm, but God will carry you through it in peace. And that was, and I remember listening to it, and I didn't really hear any harmonies. Like, it was mainly sopranos. So it was really nice, a comforting thing for me when I obviously didn't have my parents nearby. And so like to be able to come with a group of people and I'm like, okay, like I'll add to the alto. It was because no one was singing the part, and everyone looked so happy to see me join. And like, you know, just being a part of the group, it was just such a source of comfort that had me at peace for the rest of the evening, which was really nice. And then later, as Stefan mentioned earlier, a group of us, we went to go to the cliffs and we were able to see the lightning storm come towards us, which was something that I never would have thought of doing before, but it was such an interesting experience because like you're sitting at the edge of the cliff, you see the lightning literally coming towards you, but at the same time, it feels like it's never gonna hit you. It was such a surreal experience. And so like that's just like a little, you know, kind of story of like how like you actually felt God's presence at this camp, and it was really, really amazing. And here's more pictures of the baptism. So you can see like everyone, like there were even more people around the sides behind the trees, like it was packed. And afterwards we had a giant potluck where like all the moms brought their desserts afterwards. And it was one of the best potlucks I've ever had, other than the ones we have here. Yeah, it was such a beautiful service. And this is a clip of us singing together before the baptisms. And we were singing Primorska, which is it was like the theme song of the camp. Yeah, so it was, I don't know, I found like that was just like the climax of the week. It was just phenomenal, and it was genuinely really hard to have to leave this group of people on Sunday when we had to leave. So, I'm going to the next. And yes, so that's the video we're about to watch. But so that was the spiritual impact and the baptism at Fraterski.
We're just going to show one last video, actually 2 more videos, but this is just so you can get a better idea of what Fraterski was like. I think we're maybe, what? Just if we can turn the volume on, and then they're going to tell you a little bit more about how Fraterski was.
Leo are one of the leaders. We would like also to say massive thank you to our conference director, Mate. Hey, hello everybody, Dan here, and welcome once again to the vlog. Well, this time I have the privilege to be in Adriatic Union, and well, I'm at a campus where young people run it, and so Melinda and Leo are one of the leaders. We would like also to say massive thank you to our conference director, Mate, and the union director, Zlatko, who are supporting this group here. So tell us a little bit about camp, how many people we have, and all other things.
So we have around 130 people, and it's amazing. We have amazing time. God bless us with amazing weather and amazing people, and we're all happy here, and it's awesome.
Excellent. Melinda, activities. Which activities do you usually have here?
We have games every day. We have treasure hunt. We have workshops. We have swimming, and all the free time volleyball tournaments.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to tell us something about location, because we haven't actually told people where we are at the moment. So tell us, Leo.
So we are on a small island near the Pula. It's really small. It's around 200 meters in diameter, and it's amazing. It's just a camping site. There is no electricity here. There's just running water and the sun and the sea, and it's amazing.
That's true. And the name of this little island is
Fraterski Otok.
So for everybody who is watching for the first time, would you like to make invitation maybe for the next time when it's happening, or at least say, are they welcome to come?
Yes, everyone is welcome to come from any part of the world. Come and join us next year and enjoy with us.
and like every other camp that has the best stand, I guess, we have a beautiful baptism. Just a few hundred meters down the hill, there's a beautiful part where they'll be baptized. So let me take you.
Dragi brate Leone, sine Vesne i Rejmonda, sine Boži, znajući tvoju veru, krštavam te u ime Oca Nebeskog, Isusa Hrista, njegovog Sina i Duha Svetoga. Amin.
Amen. Amen.
Okay, just for the end, this is the last video we're going to share. There's one more person that couldn't be here today with us, but he was able to send us a video and share a little bit about his experience. But yeah, let's hit play and then we'll close after Arthur.
Happy Sabbath from Romania. I'm going to give a little bit of a summary of the trip, at least from my point of view, starting with Finland. We met a lot of Christians from across Europe. We even made some new friends. To me, it was surprising to see how many people were from countries I didn't expect to see so many from. For example, there was a lot of people from France. Given their history, I didn't expect to see so many people from France. And in general, Western Europe had a big showing. Now, some of the events and workshops were thought-provoking as well. One that stood out for me was one on creativity in the church and using it in ways that make sense and are appropriate. And I'm sure everyone else also has some great takeaways from the workshops or from the events in Finland. Now, moving on to Serbia, we got to see some of the cities, learn some of the history, and of course, also give rather than receive by participating in the church service at Niš, where we sang some songs, we spoke some words. Also, from my point of view, that was one of the most beautiful sounding pianos I've ever played on. So if you're ever there, I recommend trying it out if you play piano. Moving on to Croatia. Not a lot in my mind beats being on an island, camping with beautiful weather and that crystal clear sea. On the spiritual side of things, though, it always helps to feel more connected to God by being in nature. And one of the things that really stood out to me was the personal stories of all other people that were there, at least the people that shared them. Sometimes I think a personal story is more impactful than biblical exegesis. Overall, though, it was a great experience where we got to grow in Christ and in our friendships with each other. Happy Sabbath.
Okay, so thank you everybody for everything you had to share. Thank you for everybody who was patient in the couple of hours that you sacrificed to listen to this. But I was very inspired by all of your stories and testimonies, and we're so grateful that you guys got to go. And yeah, it looks like a really beautiful experience. So we're just going to close with a prayer. And I'll ask Pastor to come up and pray, and we can stand for prayer, and that will conclude our service.
Oče naš nebeski, hvala ti na ovom divnom iskustvu, hvala ti da si nam omogućio da smo mogli da vidimo svu ovu lepotu i da se družimo, da imamo jedno duhovno iskustvo. Ti nas vodi da može doći do ponovo, do ovako nečega i sada u ostatku ove večeri da imamo jedno lepo druženje i uz hranu, ti blagoslovi svaki trenutak, a uči nas da uvek znamo da smo tvoje deca i tako i da živimo. A ovo te sve molimo i zahvaljujemo ti se u Hristovo ime. Amin.